Hey, what's up you guys? Josh here with the GoKaioken channel, and today I've got a couple more upgrades for the XMaxx. Some of them coming from WFO Racing. That is these differential cup retainer sleeves, I guess you can call them. They're steel, or might be a really strong aluminum. Pretty sure they're steel, but got those. I'll explain what those are for in a second. I've got these wheels that are also from WFO, and they're going to replace the wheels from the T-Bone Racing wheelie bar. Now, I actually lost one of these after upgrading the entire power system in this thing, and just rode a wheelie so hard and came up on the one side that this wheel popped off and went flying down the road. That day, I thought I kept track of where it was going, went down there to find it, and could not find it at all. Went home, went to bed, got back out, went back over to my dad's house. That's where it was, where I lost it. And we went out there, looked again, and he found it for me, and which was actually pretty incredible because the grass was tall and it was off the side of the road. And anyways, those are going to replace these wheels. So these are clearly a little bit beefier, a little bit larger in diameter, but the red will actually look really nice with the red accenting with the truck. The last thing is a cooling fan for the 2028 motor. So I've got that, and then two fans from Racing. You can see the part number there and part number there. So my understanding is you've got to do a little bit of trimming on this fan to make it work. Also, I'm not exactly sure how everything's connected up to ensure that this has got power. But let's do the wheels and the sleeves first, and then we'll get to the two fans and the fan housing. For the sleeves, you're going to need red strength Loctite to keep these on, because you can see there's no screws or anything. And again, they're just gonna sleeve right over that. I took a picture of what happened to the cups and these drive shafts whenever I had the 30/30 gears on this thing. Yeah, pretty crazy. But anyways, let me go ahead and get the wheels on. That's simple enough. You just take this this screw off, and I'll just use the screw that they provided. We'll put that on. That should be simple enough. And then Loctite around this ring, and then slip it on. Let it sit overnight, and that shouldn't be coming off. As far as the rest of it, the fan, if there's anything particularly unique, I'll add it to this video. Otherwise, I'll just show it to you whenever it's finished. All right, so quick update to where I'm at. The fan shroud comes with two fans in it. And you can definitely leave those two fans in, run them until they die, and then replace them. But with the stories that I've heard about those fans not lasting very long and not being very powerful, I went ahead and took those out. Now, they are kind of difficult to take out. As you can see, I broke this fan by mistake. They are friction fit underneath. So where these look like screws here, those are just for show. They're friction fit. You got to pull them out, and I had to use a pair of pliers to do that. But once you do that, you push the new ones on, and then you have to wire them up. So these two fans are normally wired together and combined into one plug. Okay, so I took the end that this Castle fan shroud came with, I kept that because it was heat shrunk and all that stuff. And then I just snipped the ends off of here. You can see how close I got to each of these fans. This one I got really close. And then I just wired in, red to red, black to black, the new fans. These specifically, they both were black, and it didn't indicate which one was positive and which one was negative. So I had to go through the process of taking this off, and you should do this anyways, but take the receiver cover off, hook everything up, don't wire it in, just plug it in, see if just touch the wires, and it's such a low voltage, it's not going to impact the fan. If it doesn't turn on, swap the wires. If it turns on, that's how you need to wire them up. I was gonna solder and do all that stuff, but I just did mine twist tie and heat shrink, just because I know that these fans, I mean, they don't last forever. So no soldering, but if you want to solder, that's the right way to do it. Through this whole process though, I realized I ran out of zip ties. I actually had to take the ESC back off so I can route the wires appropriately. But the shroud only comes with 2 zip ties. You need zip ties to hold this down. And I was like, well, how are they wanting us to mount that? Because I tried taking the zip tie and running it around the motor and holding it down like that instead of using the rail. It wasn't long enough for that, and I couldn't think of any other way that they were trying to have us mount it. But before, when I started the video where I said I might have to trim something, I didn't have to trim anything, and that's because with these wires going this way and then back out that way, those wires underneath there, and you can't push this fan shroud all the way down. So I think this actually works out perfectly. These 2 came with it. I'm just going to run them for now, but I'm going to run to Lowe's, grab, I always buy like 100 or more zip ties at once. Apparently yesterday was just the day that I ran out. But holding that down for now, and then when I get the new ones, I'll put 4 of the same zip ties here and 2 zip ties here. And then that's it. That will be installed. I already plugged it up. I know that it works. It's very loud. These fans are very loud. They push a whole lot of air. So I know for sure it's going to keep this motor cool, especially with the smaller pinion that I put on. I think we're going to be good to go to bash for as long as we want to, especially with those big batteries I've got. What was the other thing? Oh, the wheels, they turned out just fine. You just unscrew the one, and these wheels come fully assembled with the washers in the right place. So you just screw these on, and that's that. For the drive cup sleeves, what I'm going to need to do is take all 4 tires off, unbolt the top A-arms on all 4 sides. That way I can lean this drive shaft out. I'm going to put a layer of red strength thread locker on the inside and then slip that on. Make sure there's none dripping, right? Because we don't want that thread locker to get down onto the drive shaft. Slip that on, make sure we're all good and clean, and then put all 4 back together. Let that sit. With the red thread locker, I like to let it sit overnight, so we're not actually going to be able to run this until tomorrow. It's a busy week anyways, but that should complete the quick upgrade. I'm going to post this video. It's not really a how-to, other than, you know, if you guys are running the Castle motor and you're worried about buying this because you have to trim it or whatever, I'd say just leave it up a little bit, because you can see I've got it up some, and you know, there's no issue with that whatsoever. I've got the wires routed out to the left, but everyone's XMaxx is going to be very slightly different. So, you know, that's how mine's set up. I'm trying to show you guys. I mean, I think it looks good. There's a bit of a gap, which I think is fine, because it's going to allow that air to be, you know, pushed down onto the motor and escape easily. You're not going to have to push air. You know, I don't know how strong these fans are, but you're not going to have to push it out of crevices and stuff. But this is going to be great. Once I get everything hooked back up, I'll do one more quick video to let you guys listen to the fan and how loud it is. So for these sleeves, you want to make sure that you have these little indentations on those slots. That's where this is going to go through like that. Can't go through any other way, so make sure that. All right, so just a quick tip here, and I actually found this out by making a mistake on putting that sleeve on this front one. So I had put the sleeve on just slightly crooked from that slot there, and it made the drive shaft not go in very smoothly. So I was like, dang, how do I get that back off? I was like, oh, of course, I unscrew the cup from the differential. And then at that moment, I was like, wait a minute, this would be way easier to install by unscrewing the cup from the differential and putting the sleeve on like that, and then taking it back off. So that's what I'm gonna do over here. Unscrew it, clean it off, put your Loctite. I just do one drop on both sides, insert it. Well, actually, let me take that off and I'll show you guys actually the rest of the way of how I'm doing it. All right, so I've got the cup unscrewed. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it off real quick. Just the outside here where the ring's gonna go on. If you like it, then you gotta put a ring on it. All right, anyways. So you've got your indents on the sides there. That's gonna line up with these indents or these slots here. So I'm gonna put just one drop here. Okay, then I'm gonna turn it around, put another drop there. So not much, just enough. And then I'm gonna lay this flat like that, line these slots up, give it a little bit of a pinch on both sides. And hopefully get that started. Yep, you might have a little bit of Loctite drip off, so just let me add just a little bit more on here. And then we just use a hammer, just tap that on. And once you hear that loud, you know, those two loud hits, you know that you're completely flush with the face of that. Now you're gonna have a little bit of Loctite that drips out there, but if you have any extra, just go ahead and wipe it down. And then it's good to go to be screwed back on. I could use a rubber mallet because this metal here isn't that strong, but you know, I went ahead and tried it with the metal hammer and it turned out just fine. So then we'll just screw this back in. And if you need to keep the differential from spinning while tightening it down that last little bit, I just take a hex tool like this, insert it into one of the slots just to hold it in place, and then tighten it down just that little bit more. That's all you're gonna need. And then drive shaft goes in smoothly. Then we can put the rest of it back together. All right, so from a zip tie perspective, we are all finished there. So everything's wired up. I actually think it looks even cleaner now because the motor wires are being covered up by this fan, but that is on there. It is not going anywhere whatsoever. 4 zip ties, all 4 corners. ESC is zip tied back down. Everything looks real clean, really close to factory. So really happy with it. Really the only thing I'm waiting on, which I don't have to wait on to drive the car, is the custom gear cover. That's 3D printed to fit over those giant gears and use those 2 screw holes, one there and one there, and that'll cover that up. But other than that, it is done. I am super happy with it. Let's get the wheels put back on and let me start it up for you so you can hear how loud the fan is. All right, we're plugged up, remote's on. You guys can hear the fan now. Warning, it is a little loud. Woo! Listen to that thing sing. I swear that thing is not getting hot anymore. Yeah, but you can feel the air escaping out the sides. Definitely pulling a ton of air in. There it is, ready to rock and roll. Thank you so much for watching. It's much appreciated. Be sure if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you liked the video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.